What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Voice of the Giants podcast here on WKCV. Guys, very special week, as always, this week in terms of the sports world, but in particular for both our soccer teams, it is senior week. And, guys, this week got women's soccer and got, who else? Riley Hayes. Riley, what's up? How's it going?
It's going pretty well. How you been?
Not too bad, not too bad. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, of course. Happy to be here.
All right, and I think one of the things I'm probably going to be saying throughout the podcast, if I haven't already throughout the first two, is congratulations on having a season. Seriously, I think that's easier said than done with everything happening last year, everything happening around the world, and pretty much just congratulations on getting a senior season.
Yeah, no, we're excited to be back. It's been a weird time with COVID, and we're glad to be back on the field and playing in our CSAC conference.
Yeah, definitely. And the reason I say senior season for you, and it's a little bit of a looser term in a way, but at the same time, you're obviously one of the few, if not many, students on campus that are actually coming back. You get your extra eligibility and everything like that, and you get to play as a graduate student. But in reality, athletic-wise, this is a senior season. What has that pretty much been like? It's
been pretty rudimentary. It's been pretty normal. After being here for 5 years, I'm pretty familiar with how the season runs. And being here as a grad student, I'm able to be a leader on the team. And everyone else below me looks at me as a leader, and I think that's amazing. And I love being able to be back for my senior season, especially with this group of girls. They're a great group.
Absolutely, and obviously we talk about the team and everything like that. It's a small team. Mm-hmm. What's it called? Oh, you said it before, 10 girls and everything like that. But obviously that's not a bad thing, because I would assume creates a lot of team bonding and a lot of ways to pretty much just connect as a team.
Oh, yeah. This is the closest I've ever seen the team. We've had trials and tribulations where at one point we were down to 7 people on the field, but we are back to 10, which is amazing. We've had a few injuries, but everyone's recovering nicely and are excited to get back on the field when they can.
And I think that's pretty much been the big thing this year, is pretty much just getting everyone back, getting everyone the way it's supposed to and everything like that. And obviously you can't go through a season without an injury and everything like that. And obviously, I would assume that, getting everybody together and everything like that and just keeping everybody, whether they're injured or not, just keeping everybody as a family has just been like the main key.
Oh, yeah, and that's one of our key things of this season is a lot of team bonding and a lot of staying close-knit and keeping on the same page with each other and making sure that we move forward as a unit as opposed to separate from each other.
Absolutely, and I got to give you guys credit. Where credit is due. Because for those who don't know, who don't follow the women's soccer schedule, you guys were originally supposed to have your first home game back. That was supposed to be September 13th. That got rescheduled, I think it was twice, because it was originally the 8th. Then it got rescheduled to the 13th, but then that got canceled. So now your first home game back, September 25th. I got to ask, what was it like getting back onto the home field and everything like that, just to go ahead, face University of Valley Forge and pretty much just put on that home uniform again?
It was amazing. We came out on that field with a new look. We just got new jerseys this year, so it was really cool to be back at home after all of COVID, back playing on the turf field with the soccer team and being able to play a wonderful team such as Valley Forge. It was a really great feeling to be back.
100%. And it's one of those things where, like I said, great to be back and everything like that. And I assume even just, going back to, we'll talk about the September 2nd game. Obviously, Marywood and everything like that. For those who don't know, Marywood about, give or take, 20, 30 minutes from the school. Also, not a far bus drive and everything like that. Obviously, team travels well. Fans travel well as well. Got to give them credit for that. I assume just getting back on, not only, and I personally he would say, getting to play in Marywood for your first game back in over 600 days, I assume that was probably just a relief in and amongst itself because it was so close to Keystone.
Oh, it was. In that game, that was a really, really good game that we put on. The first half, we ended up, I think, only 2-1 at halftime, which had us really hyped up, and being able to play again, it felt surreal. And
I assume, obviously, I think one of the things we can always talk about what happened to be, there's obviously a little bit of, going to call it ring rust or something like that. But still, I got to admit, you guys, without the ring rust and everything like that, every team's going to see that. You guys look great, seriously. Yeah. Now, I want to talk this week. Obviously, huge week for you guys. You get, I usually call, yes, it's an away and a home game. However, this is what whether I face Clark Summit or not, or whether we go to Clark Summit, I always call it a home-at-home match because, again, for those who don't know, Clark Summit's like 10 minutes at max. Up 6-11. And then you go ahead and you stay home against Notre Dame of Maryland for Senior Day. Let's tackle that Clark Summit match. Obviously, another close one, and it's a rarity, a Wednesday 1 o'clock game. But I would assume the emotions are going to be high going up against Clark Summit one more time.
Oh, for sure. Clark Summit's been having a great season. They actually beat Notre Dame 6-4, I think, which was a huge upset in our conference. So going into Clark Summit, I think we're ready for a tough-fought battle, and we're ready to perform what we need to do in order to hopefully come out on top of that game.
Awesome. And then, obviously, the big elephant in the room, Senior Day. Mm-hmm. Last year, obviously, was supposed to be your Senior Day. Not sure if anybody else was supposed to have one, but nonetheless, as you were going to have your Senior Day last year. Obviously, with COVID and everything, got taken out. But this year, you finally get to have the Senior Day. What has it been like, just that thought process that you're finally going to get to walk on that field for Senior Day?
It does not feel real. After being here as a student for 5 years, I feel like I'm going to turn around and come back again next year. It doesn't feel like Saturday is the final quote-unquote home game, because that's usually how Senior Day is panned out, but I'm excited to take that field, and especially going against Notre Dame. We have a great competition, and it's going to be a very fun game.
I believe it, and obviously when you get Senior Day matchups like that, no matter whether you're 0-30 or you're 30-0, Senior Day just hits different, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. I'm very excited.
Awesome. And then for you, your case with the Senior Day is a little bit special because for those who don't know, you're from Virginia. Mm-hmm. So obviously that's about, I'm going to just go ahead and say around the 8-hour range of travel. Well, probably wrong on there and everything like that.
It's like 4.5 from where I live to here, but then also 4.5 back. So just not wrong on the 8.
Not wrong on the 8, but at the same time still, it's a long commute and everything like that. But obviously with the Virginia thing and everything like that, I assume that's just going to be extra special and everything like that. Yeah,
I have quite a few friends and family coming up. I have like my roommates' family coming, my mom's best friend coming, so I'm really excited to be able to play in that senior game against Notre Dame for the friends and family that I have coming.
Awesome. And then the other thing I got to mention is someone who I believe you've been with her pretty much ever since she started her tenure here. Mm-hmm. And that's Coach Patterson. Obviously, he came into the program at 29, and I believe it was 2018, correct? Mm. 2018, 2019 season.
I think it was 2018. She came in my sophomore year, yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much you've been with her ever since. And that 2018 season, a little bit of a magical season for you guys. Made it in as, I believe, the 4th seed that year for the conference and everything like that. And then pretty much have just been growing as of late. What has it been having Coach Patterson under your wing, you under her wing and coaching?
She's been great. She really cares about all of us as individuals and really wants to make sure that we perform well. She's been there for me throughout her time here. Throughout my time here, she's been here for me for academics, on the field, off the field, injuries. She just wants to be sure that her players are okay and they're doing well mentally, physically, and she makes sure that we all have the tools that we need to succeed. She's great.
Absolutely, and seriously, I think that when it comes to definitely having a good coaching staff, because obviously the assistant coaches come and go and everything like that, but I think you guys definitely have another good one who I see it all the time. I'm with Coach Colin, and obviously the vibes with him, they've been amazing from what I've seen and everything like that. What has it been like getting him on the coaching staff and just having him join the team?
Having him join the team has been a real it's been different. He's really making changes that we've been needing to have. He's altered our warm-up a little bit to give us a little bit more energy throughout our practice and our games. He has us doing, more social media interaction. He's been great. He's been doing a lot of bettering our image, which has been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to go ahead. I want to go back to the schedule real quick, kind of wrap this up. I want to go back to CSAC play. Obviously, for those who don't know how CSAC play works and everything like that, yes, you'll have your non-conference matchups, but at the same time, whenever it comes down to it, about 9 times out of 10, the records that matter are the conference play and everything like that. I got to ask, obviously, you got some of the harder competition out of the way and everything like that. And for those who don't know how CSACs work, literally, I want to say most teams, like right now you guys are 2-3 in conference play. That's not out of the woods. You guys still are up there in terms of potentially making it and everything like that. What is it like when you go ahead, you face the non-conference teams, obviously, but then what is it like just flipping that switch and going back to CSAC play?
It's very different. I try to not think of it versus conference and non-conference. I just go out and I try to play my best and try to make sure my team is performing the way they need to. But switching over to conference, I think about usually halfway through the game, it kind of clicks in my brain that it is a conference game and it ultimately is very important. And going from like a team like Marywood to playing, for example, like a Clark Summit, like our preseason non-conference game, really, they got us prepared to play the harder teams, such as not Clark Summit, but Cedar Crest and Bernathen.
Yep, and the Karens and the Wilsons and everything.
Every team in our conference is a very good team, and our preseason, really prepared us for that.
Definitely hard hitting. I will always give you that. And the one thing I definitely always see is pretty much there is no stopping it till you either hear one whistle to stop play or you hear a whistle to end the half or to end the game. So I got to give you credit on that one. And so, but nonetheless, guys, that's going to go ahead. That's going to wrap it up here for the Voice of the Giants podcast. Guys, want to thank Riley again. Riley, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to wish them the best of luck in the rest of their season. Guys, they got 2 more home games next week, the 26th on Tuesday. Hey, and guys, Saturday, obviously, senior day. Go out, support. All right, and if you're not doing anything Wednesday, game at 1 o'clock, 10 minutes up the road, in Clark Summit. Go support them, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Definitely appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week.